So in this video on the opportunities functionality within Microsoft Dynamics 365 for Sales, we're going to cover off the opportunity business process flow. Now this is one in a series done specifically on opportunity related functionality. You can see links to others in the series below. Also, if you've got any suggested content ideas or you need any help with Microsoft Dynamics, please see the links below. Anyway, let's go into the system and show what we mean by the business process flow. So I'm in the opportunities area and I've got a test opportunity record open at the moment. So what's the business process flow? It's this bar that appears at the top of the screen here. And what it's designed to do is guide the seller through the sales process. Now, business process flows are not unique to opportunities. We also see them in the leads area, we also see them in the case management area. They can also be applied to other record types if we're looking to track through a process. I say it's there to guide the user as to what they should be doing through the various steps of the processes they're managing. So in terms of what we're seeing here, you can see we've got four dots on the screen here: qualify, develop, propose, and close. So these are the out-of-the-box sales stages. Now, clearly you can adapt the system to suit your particular needs and have your specific sales stages, but these are the out-of-the-box ones. So we've got the dot here or circle here with the tick in it. That's a completed stage, so I've completed qualification. I've got the circle which kind of looks like a target, which is my current stage, and we've got the two here which are blank, which are my future stages. Now for each of these, so if I just click on develop, I've got some fields that the system is suggesting to me I need to fill out at this stage. I'd also point out, it doesn't have to be the case, these fields can solely exist in the business process flow, or they can also be replicated on the form. So you can see I've got one here called customer need. So if I fill out customer need, I'll just put test in here and save that. That updates the customer need in that field and vice versa. So we can have fields in two areas. So effectively it's prompting me for the data capture that I should have put into place by that point in the sales process. And you can see for all of these I've got different field captures. So if I go to propose, different set there, close, different set there. So again, these are the out-of-the-box ones. These field captures can be changed and should be changed to meet your specific business processes. So in terms of, in fact, well, just let me mention one thing while we're on these fields. Now, none of these at the moment are mandatory. However, you can make fields mandatory. Not mandatory in the sense that you have to fill out those fields in order to create the record, and that's one type of mandatory field, but we can have mandatory process stage fields. So in other words, I cannot move from one stage of the process to another unless I've filled out that mandatory field. Now that gives you an enormous amount of power in terms of managing these process flows, so it's a really, really important feature. In terms of how we move around these, sorry, I'll go back to develop. If I want to move forward, I just click next stage, and you can see it's moved across to the proposed stage. I've also got the ability to move back with that back arrow. So if I click on that, that'll move me back. If I wanted to move back to qualify, it'll move me back. So that's how I sort of navigate and update the business process flow. Now, I can have more than one business process flow. I haven't got more than one set up in the system at the moment, but let's say I've got a number of different types of opportunities. Maybe we've got some straightforward everyday type business, and then we might have some big projects we're bidding on. So we might have two different sales cycles, and we might have 2 different business process flows to manage the 2 different scenarios. If I've got that, what I can do is go to the 3 dots up here and go to the process, and I can just switch process. I'm not going to do it now because I haven't got a second business process flow set up. So that's the basics of business process flow. The only other thing I'd mention, you do have this little icon here which allows you to look at it in a slightly different way. So it says pin the stages of flyout here. If I just click on that, and then it kind of sticks that to the side here, and I can sort of navigate across and see those fields displayed there. That might suit somebody's needs. If I just want to come out of there, just click the X on it. So just a different way of displaying the data, obviously down to individual tastes. So that's the business process flow. In terms of how that fits in with our sort of core opportunity benefits, we talked in the introduction to opportunities about the benefits of good opportunity management being visibility of future business, helping sellers sell more, being able to control the opportunity, and particularly in terms of things like compliance, and being able to tee up an opportunity in order to deliver that product or service more efficiently and with better customer satisfaction if you win it. So those are the 4 key dimensions of it. And I think the opportunity business process flow ticks the boxes for all of those. So in terms of future forecasting, it's making sure that the seller is recording the information they should record in order to provide the relevant forecast data. In terms of helping sellers sell more, if it's well set up, it should guide the seller through an optimum sales process. Sort of give them the advice, help, guidance they need in order to sell more efficiently and more effectively. In terms of things like compliance, particularly when you're using things like the mandatory fields that stop somebody moving from one stage to another until those fields being completed, that can be a very powerful way of meeting your sort of control and compliance goals. So let's say you're looking to try and get compliance in terms of contracts going out. You could have at a key stage, later stage in the process, you could have what's the date the contract was sent out, what was the date it was signed, are there any sort of non-standard terms, have a field with a link to that particular contract, or somebody could go to it. You could make all of those mandatory fields that stop you moving on to the next stage. And then finally, in terms of the delivery of the end products or service, you can just make sure that the seller is capturing the information that's going to help that sort of ongoing implementation or installation or delivery of the one services. So that's how sort of business process flows fit in with meeting those sort of benefit goals. I'd say hopefully that's been helpful, just giving you a little bit more insight into the opportunity business process flow. As I say, it's one in a series that we're doing specifically on opportunity functionality within Dynamics. You can see links to others in the series below. So if you've got suggested content ideas or you need any help with Microsoft Dynamics, please see the links below. Anyway, thanks very much for your time today, and hopefully see you again soon.